Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Since you can see my hand right here and my final major project book, you can see I'm doing another level 3 UAL Fineart final major project book assessment. Not assessment, but like I'm gonna go through my book, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. So for the first page, put in the criteria and mark the ones that I want to do. So I want a distinction, obviously, and then we got given a checklist to complete. Well, I didn't really complete all of it, but I ticked what I knew I would do. Most of the things I did do, so yeah, it doesn't have to be ticked, it just has to be in the book. And then I've got the project proposal right here. With FMP, you have to do your own project based on what you want to do, you know, like the themes you want to do, everything you're doing your own. I did a rough idea of my project proposal, and yeah, it was like a basic note-taking of what my project will probably be about. I did like a theme page on what I was going to do. I knew I was going to do something with horror, so I printed a lot of pictures that like relate to horror, and yeah, stuck them in. And then I did a mind map. I found this picture on Pinterest and just decided to like do it. And then I talk about my project. And then to do with you know, horror theme, I did like a page on Saw and like wrote about it. And then for the next page, I did like a rough idea of Saw. And as you can see, it's really simple. There's not much to it. It's just like an outline with like color. Not much to it, but then you go to the next page and there's a whole stippling of jigsaw, and yeah, this took me so long to do. And then I decided to look into Pennywise the clown and wrote about it and did a watercolor on it. Next, I did a timeline of clowns. So like how clowns were like portrayed. It's like the beginning, and then in China, ancient Greece, and then just goes along, and it's like the evolution of clowns. Then I compared clowns, did like research on clowns in the 1930s and like wrote about it, and then clowns in 2016. So I got images of the Joker and stuck them in, and then wrote about like the whole thing, to like who the Joker is. And then with acetate, I did like a print, and then I did a watercolor of another type of Joker. And then again, this is the stencil of the Joker. I did two because one of them failed. And then I wrote about the process of it. And then next, more into horror, skulls, you know. I researched like essays on horror and like highlighted bits on it. And then I looked into real life horror. Well, I looked at this specific guy, Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't know if that's how you say his name. I looked into his murder victims and what he did to them, and it was really like interesting to see. And then I looked into like people that changed their faces, that you can say it's horror, but it's like, you know, some people might think of it as horror. And then I wrote about it. And then again, project proposal comes up. You need to do your project proposal, obviously, and then you get your teacher to look through it, and they give you notes, and then you have to like redo it. Next, we went to Tate Exchange. Students studying at university displayed their work and held workshops for people visiting. Well, I went with my college and we met UAL students. Again, from the last video, you guys already know that you have to do checklists and tick those checklists so that they know that you're like doing your work properly. You need to-do lists and peer assessment. Peer assessment is really fundamental in art and design, so I got lots of people to do peer assessments for me. Next, I moved on to American Horror Story and researched into like the whole thing behind it, what it means, like different characters Again, this is you know, face modification, and then the twins. And then I went on to Twisty the Clown, of course, because American Horror Story and Twisty the Clown, you know, I was doing clowns, so I had to add into it. And I did like another print on acetate, and then I did this on Illustrator. And then I looked into the real life Twisty the Clown, and it was this guy, and it's actually quite mad. You guys should research up on it because it's interesting. I did like stencils on it. I did another stencil and another one on the book, and then I wrote about it, and then with the stencil I took a picture of my face, trying to develop it, different experiments. I went on to look for artist research, so Judith, I really like, it's like emotion, horror, being scared of something, so I did my own. I did death and beauty. This is more into horror again, so like death, the whole beauty concept behind death and beauty, and I added an artist to it to relate to it. My own little drawing. And I looked into more blogs, more like research on horror, on fear, and my own opinion on it. I looked onto symbolism, so like sometimes you can find it scary, there's like scary stuff to do with it, you know, death. Then I looked into mythology and looked into the Greek gods, and this is one of my favorite artists from this book. I did Ronnie Ray Mendez, and I actually posted this on my Instagram, and I think he liked it or something. I love stippling. Stippling is my favorite kind of technique. And then I did Medusa. Then I looked into snakes, because snakes, well, I find them scary. And so I did prints of snakes with spray paint. So I did the stencil and then I spray painted them. And then there's some experiments I did. And then I looked into the Bulger case, which is another real life horror, where two kids killed a little kid and left him on a train track. It's really sad story. And then I looked into why killers kill. I put in my opinion. And then again, I looked up more like things to do with humans and like things that are scary, finding horror stuff, you know. I compared like cavemen to killers today, so like how cavemen killed and how cavemen murdered people and how people kill now. Next, I looked into more mythological creatures or figures. And then I went to the Natural History Museum. This may seem like I shouldn't have gone to the Natural History Museum for this project, but you can go to any museum, literally. You can find anything that will go to with your theme. Like mine was horror, so I was looking at these kinds of animals because I find them scary. This is like psychological kind of scary things. Well, I think so. And then I looked up stuff about it, so like why do people find them scary? I took pictures of them and then I did like sketches of them, and then I put in all my pictures. I went to a art fair and I saw lots of different art, like it was basically an art exhibition, and I saw lots of really interesting art. So I documented it, and I really like this art. It's like Death and Beauty. Then I looked into Paul Jackson. I really loved his work and I loved how he did stippling as well. So I started doing like my own. I tried doing like my own style, but his like work, if you see what I mean. Then I looked into Nicholas Combe and his wonderful art. And then I did my own. Then I did some observational. I tried to do like a Medusa kind of thing with it. Then did the actual Medusa. I didn't really like how it came out, so I just stuck it in and then tried something else. And this is from the Natural History Museum with more experiments. Next I looked into Medusa. I was just really having fun with doing Medusa, so I did like an illustration of the one I did on Illustrator. And then because of the snakes on Medusa, I looked into snakes and their skins and their bones, and I wrote about it. And from the Natural History Museum, I took pictures of snakes, so I stuck it in again to relate it to the previous post. I mean page. Post. And now I'm looking at phobias, like phobias people have, getting scared of. I wrote about what I'm scared of, and then I asked people to write what they're scared of for my college. Not a lot of people wrote, but it's like a way of getting, you know, interaction. And then I did a little photo shoot of me being scared. I was starting to plan my final piece, so I was thinking of what to do. I got a picture of the skull that I took a picture of from an exhibition I saw. I printed it out and cut off the head, put it as the skull. So I really liked how that was looking, so I stuck it in as an idea. And then another one, this was the other piece, so I was going to do two pieces, and it would be me and then this one and then this skull face. And then I did my FMP evaluation, and I've got notes at the back. And then bits and bobs. This is my final piece. The whole idea or concept behind my final piece is that this person is scared, and looking at this person, basically this person is scared for that person because obviously they know they're gonna die, and they're thinking about death. You know, they're thinking about that, like their close one, their close loved one is gonna die, and it's like the whole concept about like this thing to do with like being scared of death. So this person is scared of this person dying, and this person is scared of dying. It's not like this person isn't scared of someone else dying. It could be like, it could be swapped. Like they're scared of dying, and then they're scared of this person dying, and then this person's scared of someone else dying. It's like a whole circle. So the actual way that I was doing it was this way. So like, this is a loved one, they're two relatives, and this one's looking at this one, and like they're just like scared of losing them, scared of death, scared, like it's like a whole like thing that they keep inside them, but you know, it's like always there. And this one also is always scared of dying. So yeah, it's like a really like, it's a psychological kind of thing. It's like really like this, it happens every day, you know. You're scared of other people dying, you're scared of yourself dying, you're scared of people dying, but like it's not really talked about. So that's why I wanted to do it, because this whole thing with like death being something like you shouldn't really talk about, it should be talked about, and it's good to talk about it. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Okay, I just want to show you guys this. So this is like this is basically the like overall thing, so like my grade. And just to let you guys know, this was meant to be a distinction graded thing, but unfortunately, because my teacher told me that she wanted me to do another one of these, but I had no time to do it. So I didn't do it, I didn't give another one in, so she gave me a merit. And she told me before that I had a distinction, like I secured the distinction, but last minute she changed it all. So she's saying that everything was a merit. She's saying that literally everything is a merit, and that I've got a merit. But you know what, it's all good. It's all good. I think it came out pretty good, but it was supposed to be a distinction. It's a merit, but it's all good. I hope you guys have gotten good information from this, and that you liked this content. If you guys have want any tips or have any tips, please do let me know in the comment section below. I do respond to everyone, and if you guys want more of this content, let me know. Okay, thank you, bye.